Before we begin, I want you to take a moment and think about this when you wake up in the morning. Your body quietly reveals how healthy you truly are. No fancy machines, no medical tests, just one natural signal that tells the truth about your vitality, your sleep, your heart, and your hormones. Yet most men ignore it. They laugh it off, feel shy about it, or never realize how powerful that little signal actually is. Yes, I am talking about morning wood, something so common, so natural, yet so misunderstood. As men grow older, many notice it fading away and they assume it's just part of aging. But what if I told you that science says otherwise? What if losing morning wood isn't a normal part of getting older, but a warning sign that your body is trying to whisper something urgent? In this talk, I am going to reveal what scientists know but rarely emphasize the shocking truth about why morning wood disappears with age, what it really means about your health, and how you can fix it. We're going to look beyond embarrassment and see the biology, the science, and the power behind this forgotten signal. Because once you understand it, you'll realize this isn't just about sexual health, it's about total health. So stay with me till the end of this video, because what you'll learn today might change the way you think about your body forever. You'll discover how your mornings can become your mirror, showing not only how you've lived, but how you can live stronger, healthier, and more alive than ever before. Let's begin. Morning wood, scientifically known as nocturnal penile tumescence, is one of the most fascinating and natural physiological phenomena experienced by men. It is often considered a measure of sexual health, but it is actually much more than that. It is not just a sign of arousal or sexual dreams, it is deeply connected to the neurological, hormonal, and vascular systems of the male body. The first keynote explains that morning wood is a normal sleep-linked reflex tied to REM sleep and male hormones, and that its frequency declines with age because of changes in hormones, blood vessels, nerves, sleep quality, and certain medications. To understand this in detail, one must explore how this reflex happens, why it changes with time, and what biological systems control it. Morning wood occurs mostly during a specific stage of sleep called REM, or rapid eye movement sleep. This is the phase of sleep when most dreaming occurs, and it cycles several times throughout the night. During REM sleep, the brain becomes highly active, and certain areas, particularly those involved in emotion, memory, and arousal, are stimulated. This activation triggers a chain reaction in the body, including the release of neurotransmitters like acetylcholine and the suppression of others like norepinephrine. The drop in norepinephrine, a chemical that normally keeps the body's blood vessels slightly constricted, allows blood to flow more freely into the penis. This increased blood flow fill the spongy tissues of the penis, the corpora cavernosa, and corpus spongiosum, causing an erection. Because REM sleep repeats every 90 minutes or so, most men actually experience several erections each night, typically lasting 20 to 40 minutes each time, though they usually only notice the one that happens before waking up. This automatic process is not about sexual stimulation or fantasy, even though dreams may occasionally coincide with it. It's more of a physiological workout for the penile tissues. The body, in its own intelligent way, maintains the health of this vascular system by regularly flooding it with oxygenated blood during sleep. These nightly erections keep the smooth muscles inside the penis flexible, prevent scarring, and promote good circulation. In other words, morning wood is not a random occurrence. It is a vital part of the body's natural maintenance routine. When it happens regularly, it signals that the nerves, blood vessels, and hormones involved are functioning properly. However, as men age, many biological processes change, and morning wood often becomes less frequent, less firm, or disappears entirely. One of the primary reasons for this decline is hormonal change. Testosterone, the main male sex hormone, plays a key role in sexual function, libido, and the physiology of erections. Testosterone levels naturally begin to decline gradually after the age of 30, and this reduction can impact the frequency and quality of nocturnal erections. Testosterone has a direct influence on the brain centers that trigger sexual response, as well as an indirect effect on nitric oxide production in the penile tissues. Nitric oxide is essential for relaxing blood vessels and allowing blood to flow into the penis. When testosterone decreases, the efficiency of this system weakens, and the signal chain that leads to erection becomes less responsive. Apart from hormones, vascular health plays a major role. Erections are essentially a hydraulic event. Blood must flow freely into the penis and be trapped there to create rigidity. The arteries that supply blood to the penis are very small, about 1 to 2 millimeters in diameter. This makes them particularly vulnerable to the same issues that affect larger blood vessels, such as those in the heart. As men age, cholesterol, high blood pressure, and lifestyle factors like smoking, poor diet, or lack of exercise can damage the inner lining of these blood vessels, known as the endothelium. When that happens, the vessels lose their ability to dilate properly, reducing blood flow. Since nocturnal erections rely entirely on good blood supply, compromised circulation leads to weaker or absent morning wood. This is why doctors often say that erectile changes can be an early warning sign of heart disease. The penile arteries are smaller than coronary arteries, so they show symptoms of vascular problems years before the heart does. The nervous system also plays an essential role in nocturnal erections. Erectile and reflexes depend on communication between the brain, spinal cord, and the nerves of the pelvic region. Any condition that disrupts these nerve pathways can affect morning wood. Diabetes, for instance, is a leading cause of peripheral neuropathy, a condition where nerve endings are damaged due to prolonged high blood sugar levels. This nerve damage dulls or breaks the transmission of signals that initiate erections. Similarly, injuries to the spinal cord or prostate surgery can interrupt these neural connections, leading to loss of nocturnal erections even if hormones and blood flow are normal. Aging doesn't always cause nerve damage directly, but older men are more likely to have conditions or medications that interfere with nerve health. Another factor is sleep quality. Because morning wood is tightly linked to REM sleep, any disruption to sleep patterns can reduce its occurrence. Sleep disorders such as insomnia, sleep apnea, or even chronic stress can prevent the body from entering or maintaining REM cycles. Sleep apnea, in particular, is a major culprit. This disorder causes brief interruptions in breathing during sleep, which repeatedly drops oxygen levels and disrupts normal sleep architecture. Studies have shown that men with untreated sleep apnea often experience fewer nocturnal erections and lower testosterone levels. When sleep apnea is treated, both testosterone levels and the frequency of morning wood tend to improve. This shows how deeply interconnected sleep and sexual health are. Medications are another silent but significant factor. Many drugs commonly prescribed to older adults can reduce the frequency of morning erections. Antidepressants, especially selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors (SSRIs), are well known to suppress sexual function by altering neurotransmitter levels in the brain. Beta blockers and diuretics, which are used for high blood pressure, can reduce blood flow to the penis. Some medications interfere with REM sleep itself, reducing the natural periods when nocturnal erections would occur. This doesn't mean men should stop their medications, but it highlights the importance of discussing sexual side effects with the doctor if morning wood or libido noticeably declines. In addition to these physical causes, psychological factors can also contribute. Anxiety, depression, and chronic stress increase the production of stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline, which narrow blood vessels and decrease the body's ability to relax enough for normal erections. These mental pressures can also disturb sleep, creating a cycle in which stress leads to poor sleep, and poor sleep leads to fewer nocturnal erections. Interestingly, because morning wood happens unconsciously during sleep, its presence or absence can also help doctors determine whether erectile dysfunction is physical or psychological. If a man experiences erections during sleep but not while awake, the cause is likely psychological. If erections are absent all tog, ether, it's usually a physical problem. The decline of morning wood with age can therefore be seen as the result of multiple overlapping systems slowing down hormones, circulation, nerves, and sleep. All interact like gears in a machine. When one starts to slip, the others follow. The body is remarkably adaptive, but as these systems weaken or face damage from modern lifestyle factors like stress, poor diet, lack of movement, and sleep deprivation, the once automatic process of nocturnal erections becomes less consistent. This is why maintaining overall health is essential not only for longevity, but also for sexual vitality. Scientists have studied this phenomenon extensively, and their findings show that even though morning wood becomes less frequent with age, it does not have to disappear completely. Many of the underlying causes can be managed or reversed. Men who exercise regularly, maintain a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, and avoid smoking tend to retain better vascular health, stronger erections, and higher testosterone levels. Exercise, particularly aerobic activity and strength training, improves circulation, reduces insulin resistance, and increases natural testosterone production. Good sleep hygiene and keeping a consistent bedtime, reducing screen time, and managing stress can restore healthy REM cycles and improve nocturnal erections. Weight loss alone has been shown to significantly increase testosterone levels and sexual function in overweight men. What this means is that morning wood is not merely a sign of youth, it is a reflection of overall health. When it fades, it's usually a sign that something deeper in the body's systems needs attention. It could be declining hormones, poor blood flow, nerve damage, or sleep problems. Recognizing these signals early allows for intervention before more serious health issues arise. Many men dismiss the loss of morning wood as just getting older, but in truth, it's the body's way of communicating that change is happening internally. Paying attention to this subtle signal can be a powerful tool for early detection of metabolic, cardiovascular, or hormonal imbalances. In scientific terms, morning wood functions as both a diagnostic marker and a maintenance mechanism. Its disappearance with age is not inevitable, but rather conditional upon how well the body maintains balance among its core systems. Each night of restorative sleep, each healthy heartbeat, and each hormonal rhythm contributes to this delicate equilibrium. The process begins in the brain, flows through the nerves, fills the blood vessels, and reflects the health of the entire male organism. When men age, the balance can tip, but the loss is not irreversible. Just as lifestyle choices can deteriorate these systems, they can also rejuvenate them. Ultimately, understanding the first keynote means recognizing that morning wood is not a simple sexual event, but a complex biological indicator of vitality. It reflects harmony among the brain, hormones, circulation, and sleep. When these systems weaken due to aging, stress, poor habits, or disease, the phenomenon naturally diminishes. Yet science also shows that men who nurture their health through proper sleep, exercise, nutrition, and medical care can preserve or regain this function even later in life. In that sense, morning wood is both a signal of youth and a barometer of overall wellness, whispering a truth that scientists understand well, that the body's most private processes are often its most revealing ones. Emphasizes that the loss of morning erections can be an early signal of physical problems, especially vascular or sleep-related conditions, and that many ways to fix it are medical or behavioral, rather than something that should simply be accepted as a normal part of aging. To understand this fully, it is important to realize that the human body communicates through small signs long before disease becomes visible, and the disappearance of morning wood is one of those quiet but powerful messages. Morning wood, or nocturnal penile tumescence, is a natural event that shows the body's nervous, vascular, and hormonal systems are working together properly. When it begins to fade, it is not merely a sign of reduced sexual desire or energy. It can be a symptom of deeper physiological disruptions that may later turn into major health problems if ignored. One of the most important systems involved is the vascular system. The process of getting and maintaining an erection depends primarily on healthy blood flow. The arteries that supply blood to the penis are small and delicate, much narrower than the arteries that lead to the heart or brain. This means they are often the first to show signs of blockages or stiffness caused by a buildup of plaque, a condition known as atherosclerosis. When cholesterol and other fats start to accumulate on artery walls, they limit the amount of blood that can flow through. Even a small restriction in these tiny arteries can make a noticeable difference in erectile function. So when morning wood starts disappearing, it can be one of the first signs that blood circulation is not as efficient as it used to be. This is why doctors often describe erectile dysfunction as an early warning signal of heart disease. In many cases, men who experience reduced morning erections develop cardiovascular problems years later, which means that paying attention to this change can serve as a life-saving clue. Poor vascular health doesn't only come from aging. It is also heavily influenced by lifestyle. Factors such as smoking, lack of physical activity, obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, and an unhealthy diet rich in processed foods and sugar all contribute to damaging blood vessels. The endothelium, which is the inner lining of blood vessels, plays a crucial role in releasing nitric oxide, a chemical that allows blood vessels to expand and fill the penis during an erection. When the endothelium becomes damaged through years of poor habits, it loses this ability, leading not only to erectile issues, but also to increased risk of heart attack and stroke. Therefore, the absence of morning erections can be an early indicator that the endothelial function is compromised. This connection is scientifically supported by many studies showing that men with erectile dysfunction have a significantly higher risk of cardiovascular disease. The key takeaway is that the penis acts like an early detection system for heart and vascular problems because its arteries are so sensitive and responsive to overall circulation. Another strong link to the loss of morning wood is the condition of the body's sleep cycle, particularly the quality of REM sleep. Morning wood primarily occurs during REM, the phase of sleep when the brain is active and dreams happen. REM sleep is also when certain neurological signals trigger the relaxation of blood vessel walls and allow increased blood flow to the penis. If someone's REM sleep is disrupted, the chain reaction that leads to nocturnal erections gets interrupted as well. One of the main sleep-related causes of this problem is sleep apnea, a disorder where breathing repeatedly stops and starts during sleep. Each time breathing stops, the body experiences a drop in oxygen levels, forcing it to wake slightly to resume breathing. These micro-awakenings prevent deep and continuous REM cycles. The result is not only fatigue and brain fog during the day, but also a decline in testosterone production and nocturnal erections at night. Sleep apnea and other sleep disorders are more common as people age and gain weight, especially if fat accumulates around the neck and throat, narrowing the airways. Because morning wood is so closely tied to deep, restful REM sleep, its absence often reflects disturbed sleep patterns long before other symptoms of sleep apnea become noticeable. When sleep apnea is diagnosed and treated, for example through CPAP therapy, both sleep quality and sexual function often improve dramatically. The body begins to produce normal levels of testosterone again, oxygen levels stabilize, and nocturnal erections tend to return. This direct link between sleep health and sexual health shows that the disappearance of morning wood is not simply a hormonal or psychological issue, it's a whole body signal that something fundamental like oxygen delivery or sleep structure is being disrupted. Apart from vascular and sleep factors, several other medical conditions can also show up first as changes in morning erections. Diabetes is one of the most common. High blood sugar levels over time damage both the nerves and blood vessels responsible for erectile function. This condition, called diabetic neuropathy, dulls the sensitivity of the nerves that trigger the erection reflex while also thickening and stiffening blood vessels, restricting blood flow. Many men first realize they might have diabetes or prediabetes when they begin to notice a drop in the frequency or firmness of morning erections. Similarly, hypertension or high blood pressure affects the elasticity of arteries, making it more difficult for them to fill with blood quickly during an erection. Even certain medications prescribed to manage these chronic illnesses can interfere with the chemical signals that trigger erections. Antidepressants, beta blockers, and diuretics are among the most well known for causing these effects. In this sense, the loss of morning wood functions like a biological alarm system. It's the body's subtle way of saying that something deeper blood flow, oxygenation, nerve function, hormonal balance is not as it should be. This makes it a valuable diagnostic tool for physicians. In fact, doctors sometimes use nocturnal penile tumescence testing to help differentiate between psychological and physical causes of erectile dysfunction. If a man still has normal nocturnal erections but cannot achieve them during waking hours, the issue is likely psychological, such as stress or performance anxiety. But if nocturnal erections are weak or absent, the cause is almost always physical, such as vascular or neurological impairment. The good news is that this early signal can often be reversed or improved through both medical and behavioral interventions. Since most of the underlying causes are related to circulatory or metabolic issues, addressing those problems can restore morning erections naturally. Regular aerobic exercise, such as brisk walking, cycling, or swimming, strengthens the heart and improves endothelial function, enhancing blood flow throughout the body, including the penis. Strength training also boosts natural testosterone levels, further supporting sexual health. Dietary improvements, particularly following a Mediterranean-style eating plan with plenty of vegetables, fruits, fish, olive oil, and whole grains, help reduce inflammation and repair blood vessels. Quitting smoking and limiting alcohol also make a major difference, since nicotine constricts blood vessels and alcohol disrupts hormonal balance. Behavioral changes related to sleep hygiene can also help. Setting consistent sleep schedules, reducing screen exposure before bed, and avoiding caffeine late in the day support healthy REM cycles. Managing stress through meditation, breathing exercises, or therapy lowers cortisol, a hormone that interferes with testosterone production and blood vessel dilation. When men lower chronic stress levels, both their sleep and their sexual function improve. For men who still struggle despite these lifestyle changes, medical treatments are available. Phosphodiesterase type 5 inhibitors, such as sildenafil Viagra or tadalafil Cialis, enhance the natural process of erection by increasing nitric oxide's effects in the blood vessels of the penis. However, these medications only work if there is still sufficient blood flow and nerve function, so they are most effective when combined with improve. Meds in sleep and lifestyle. In cases of low testosterone, doctors may prescribe hormone replacement therapy after confirming the deficiency through blood tests. But this must be done carefully and under supervision, as improper hormone use can cause side effects or worsen existing conditions. What makes this second keynote powerful is its reminder that morning wood is not merely about sexual performance, but about overall health. Its decline often precedes visible symptoms of serious conditions like heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, and sleep apnea. Many men tend to ignore it because of embarrassment or the mistaken belief that it's just an inevitable part of aging. But the truth is, it's a reversible condition for many people if the root causes are addressed. The male body doesn't lose the ability to produce erections purely due to time passing, it loses it because systems that support circulation, hormone production, and sleep gradually deteriorate from lifestyle and health factors. When those are restored, the function often returns as well. Morning wood, therefore, serves as a simple but profound barometer of a man's internal state. It's one of the few natural indicators that can give early insight into invisible health changes that might otherwise go unnoticed until they cause major damage. When it disappears, the best approach is not resignation, but investigation, checking heart health, blood sugar levels, sleep quality, and hormone balance. Each of these areas can be optimized with modern medicine and behavioral change. Ultimately, the disappearance of morning wood with age is less about aging itself and more about the accumulation of lifestyle stress, metabolic strain, and physiological wear that come from neglecting sleep, diet, exercise, and stress management. By restoring balance to these systems, men often rediscover that their bodies are capable of recovery and vitality, even after years of decline. The message embedded in this keynote is one of awareness and empowerment. The loss of morning wood is a signal, not a sentence, and responding to it with proper care, attention, and healthy habits can not only restore sexual function, but also prevent serious health problems down the road. In the end, the truth about why morning wood disappears with age is not a story of weakness or inevitable decline. It's a reflection of how the body changes and what those changes are trying to tell us. The body speaks in signals, and this is one of them. When morning erections fade, it often means your system, your heart, your hormones, your sleep, your stress is asking for attention. It's not something to feel embarrassed about, it's something to be aware of. What scientists have discovered, but many don't emphasize enough, is that this simple morning phenomenon is deeply connected to your overall health. It's not just about sexuality, it's about blood flow, vitality, oxygen, and balance. The most empowering message from all this is that you are not powerless against aging. With the right habits, awareness, and care, you can often restore what you thought was gone, not just morning wood, but energy, confidence, and health itself. By improving sleep, eating better, exercising, managing stress, and seeking medical guidance when needed, you can protect your heart, sharpen your mind, and keep your body's natural rhythm strong. Morning wood is a signal of life's energy, and taking care of it means taking care of your entire being. So, as you walk away from this talk, remember this: aging is natural, but decline is optional. Listen to your body's quiet signs, treat them as messages, not problems, and act with wisdom and consistency. What you do today decides how strong, vibrant, and alive you feel tomorrow. I wish you strength, health, and confidence as you move forward. Take this knowledge not just as information, but as motivation to live better, sleep better, and feel better. Thank you for listening. Stay healthy, stay strong, and may your mornings always remind you that life's energy still flows within you. Good luck, and thank you once again.